Inside Football is proud to have Joey as our presenting partner. Nicotine with a quick hit, long tail, in the strength of your choice. As a thank you for being part of Inside Football's crew, we teamed up with Joey to give you a 35% discount on your first order. Get it all at meetjoey.com/football.
A few of your top leaders have voiced their displeasures. As a head coach, how hard has that been to separate yourself from the business side?
Well, you can't separate yourself. You're very aware of it because everybody has to go through it. They're very professional and they know it's part of the business and they're going to do their job no matter what. That was tough. I mean, that was probably the toughest thing I've done since I've been here. You know, change is necessary when you're not doing well.
That's what I've always said. You know, those are things that keep you up at night. You know, the times that you have to make tough decisions, what are best for the organization. Welcome to Inside Football Extra. We are here at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers training camp to uncover all the bullshit and go behind the scenes with several key members of this organization. Let's fucking do this. We just dropped a full NFC South preview. Myself, Chris Carter, Brian Urlacher, Trey Wingo, and Marvin Lewis. Here's a quick preview of it. Baker Mayfield is a very fine football player, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But generally, the way these negotiations go, it's who's up next of where you're getting paid.
Correct.
Yeah.
Can you justify paying Baker Mayfield $60 million?
They got to pay somebody.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they don't have a whole bunch of stars there.
Right.
Mike Evans is gone. And you have to be able to pay guys that have put your team in a position and put that head coaching staff and that whole front office, put them in position, because when you look at that division, they can win that division every single year.
This is my one-on-one with Todd Bowles, head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One of the things that I knew about Todd way back when he worked with me in Arizona was his ability to see things other coaches didn't, his ability to put players in position to succeed, his ability to recognize things before they happened offensively. It's coming up to you next with Todd Bowles. All right, Todd, as we start camp, obviously a few of your top leaders have voiced their displeasures. As a head coach, how hard has that been to separate yourself from the business side?
Well, you can't separate yourself. You're very aware of it because everybody has to go through it. And like you said, it's the two top players, but at the same time, they're very professional and they know it's part of the business and they're going to do their job no matter what. So you put it in its own category and you hopefully it works out for the best.
A number of your head coaches have gone, or offensive coordinators have gone on to be head coaches, and you've had to replace a number of people on your staff and have had to replace some friends who have been on your staff for a long time. How difficult has that been for you?
That was tough. I mean, that was probably the toughest thing I've done since I've been here, especially the ones that's been with me for a long time, as far as Coach Ross and Coach Rapone and those type of guys. But, you know, change is necessary when you're not doing well, and you got to make the right changes, and they understand that, and we're still close to this day. So that it was tough when it happened, but, you know, it's great right now because we still have the relationship.
That's what I've always said. You know, those are the things that keep you up at night. You know, the times that you have to make tough decisions, what are best for the organization. Last year, you were riddled on your offensive line with injuries. What sort of steps have you guys taken as an organization to make sure that that doesn't happen again?
Well, we changed up our off-season program some. Obviously, we have a different strength coach as well. We got a speed coach in here. We try to make sure we do all the proper things with cool benches and steps and change up practices and break it up a little more between special teams and getting healthy so we don't have any more soft tissue injuries because that was the big thing. So it's early, but we've been doing well so far.
Training camp is where every team's dreams begin. It's about building confidence. It's about showing up and putting in the work. The players that make it on the final roster are the ones willing to step up when the moment's in front of them. That's why Joey is behind today's coverage. As a thank you for riding with us, we teamed up with Joey for 35% off your first order. Grab it at meetjoey.com/football. Well, I was fortunate enough to work with you for a number of years, obviously, and there's nobody I respect more in the NFL than you. The one thing I always said about Todd Bowles was he was the best evaluator I've ever been around as a coach. What was it about your evaluation skills that really sort of set you apart? I mean, you were a guy that knew how to put people in different positions, like the Dayon Buchanans of the world, and the things that we did schematically with other players. Is that an instinctual thing? Is it something you learned over the years? What do you think? What do you attribute that to?
Well, I scouted a year for Green Bay, so that helped. I had some very good scouts around me, and Snyder and Dorsey and Ron Wolf and Ted Thompson and Reggie McKenzie and all those guys. But at the same time, when you only get 53 guys, you got to make sure that you got guys that can do multiple things. And instead of, when we started evaluating, instead of looking at everybody's weaknesses and say, he can't do this, he can't do that, then you start looking at their strengths. And you try to apply that when you have them and not put them in a situation where their weaknesses show up. And as I got used to that, I started finding more players and better players. And it's always, as you're running your defense, what can you tweak? What do you need? What do you have? Where are they running? What can you get away with? And you find strengths in guys and you try to plug them in.
Yeah. Offensively, with the loss of Mike Evans, obviously, that's a huge loss for you. Emeka Buka, where do you see him in year 2?
He's definitely in, I'm not going to say better shape because he was in great shape, but after the championship, going through the championship and everything else at Ohio State and then the combine and straight through the draft, I thought he got run down a little bit, but he's fresher, he's cleaner. He understands how the pro system works, how to take care of his body one more year later, and I expect great things from him because he's very polished, he's very smart, and he's very tough.
What are some of the next steps you're looking for in camp? What are you looking to see your team, improve upon?
I think we have to gel. Obviously, offensively, there's new terminology and a new system, and I thought the first 2 days, which is all we were looking for, recall from minicamp and recall from OTAs, I think they did a great job coming out playing fast. Defensively, I thought the communication was outstanding. The D-line starts working together and they can rush the passer as a group as opposed to individually, I think will be tough.
Let me ask you this. So, in the big picture of things, obviously the NFC South, last year, because of the injuries, I felt like you guys took a step back. Obviously, Carolina took advantage of that. Where do you see that division going this year in your mind?
It's always a dogfight. No matter which one of them 3 teams we play, it's always a dogfight. Everybody's getting better. Everybody's adding things, getting better, but we feel like we're getting better too. So, we can keep everybody healthy and we can win a lot of games on the road. I think it's going to be a dogfight with those teams because we know each other so well, but, I like our chances.
We got more interviews and we got more content coming. We need you locked in now. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and tune in for our NFC South preview.